Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So I got the OUKITEL WP22 in. There's some great specs on here. So it is a MediaTek processor, the 6779, but it has 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, a 48 megapixel rear camera, a 16 megapixel front camera, GPS and everything, dual SIM, 10,000 mAh battery, fingerprint reader, and 6.5 8-inch display. But it has Android 13. So this is something to be, excited about. Dual SIM, dual standby, and I think it should be pretty decent. Let's see what we got here. Some rugged phones have been coming in like left and right, and I really appreciate them sending things out like this for me to test right now. All right, so we're off the rip, pretty decent packaging. This is the way it comes. Now they're touting this to be the loudest smartphone speaker on a phone, and you've got to sell it how you got to sell it. It does look like it has a really loud speaker. It has a big speaker on the back, and I'll show you here in just a second. But you get these manuals here that nobody reads because you guys don't read them. The charger here, which is Type-C, and then you get your fast charger here as well. And then the phone. This is what you guys really like to see. See that big massive speaker on the back? How do you get this thing out? Where's the cutout at? I guess it just split up like that. So here's the speaker. This back actually feels pretty good. It's like a texturized faux leather. It feels pretty good. It's rugged though. I really like this branding down here on the back here, right there. And then there's that ginormous speaker. It says multimedia speakers. You got AI camera. It's got all this branding all over it here. That's pretty nice. On this side here, you got your volume rocker and your power button. And you've got a sign here, a little branding that says waterproof. Metal size and everything on there. Then you've got your SIM tray and a smart button right there. And again, some more branding over here. This feels pretty decent in the hand for a 10,000 mAh battery. This also doubles as a fingerprint reader, I believe. And you've got all your information on the front here of what it does. So you got octa-core, it's got the cameras listed, the memory and the RAM, the operating system, letting you know that it's a loud speaker with a 10,000 mAh battery and Face ID. So, little tab there. Hit the button. These have to have juice because it's a 10,000 mAh battery inside. So this kind of is raised off of the back of the phone there, as you can see. It's raised a little bit. Screen looks nice and bright and vivid over camera. Nice little animation. Haven't had an OUKITEL in a long time. OUKITEL. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. OUKITEL. But this looks like this will probably be pretty nice. All right, so I'm going to take you through the first walkthrough here. This is what it's going to look like when you start it up. One thing I like about some of these new Android rugged phones is they're all coming with Android. Well, some of the latest ones I've gotten in have Android 13. Get it connected to Wi-Fi, and I'll switch to dark mode. The battery percentage is inside of the battery, which is, you know how I feel about that. But while this is booting up, man, it's a good looking phone. Little orange metal accents along the bottom there and top. It looks great. It looks really cool. This is a metal plate right here surrounding the camera module. I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up and everything and let it get past this, and I'll get into this display here. Here's the SIM tray and SD card slot. Got a little metal. You can see that metal on there. Pulls right out. I always have, some concerns about that because of the, it might possibly break sliding in and out if it's not a full metal tray. But let's get this kicked off and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we are in. That took a little bit longer than normal, but this is what it looks like when you first get to your home screen and you haven't done anything to it. It defaults with all of them on the page here like this. You can change this though, but I'd left it like this so you can see this is the way this one came out of the box. Now I'm going to turn on a video and test out this speaker immediately because this is something that they're touting as one of the loudest speakers on a device. But so first, let's get into settings here. I did go in and turn on dark mode, you know, just to get it turned on, just to be sure. It doesn't have like, I don't think it has like that ultra dim one. I really would like the ultra, on one of the other phones with the really dark wallpaper, dark wallpaper for the lock screen mode in the picture, but they don't have that on here. So it's like lights out pretty much. I was like, man, that'd be pretty cool. But getting in here, I just turned on dark mode and that's it. But this is what the settings looks like. This phone appears to be pretty fast overall right out of the box. But you've got your SIM card data here, Wi-Fi connections. It does have NFC. A lot of the devices now that I've been getting in, these rugged phones like this, have NFC. This is something that's, and they work on T-Mobile. A lot of guys have been asking lately, does this work on T-Mobile? And the answer is yes, it does work on T-Mobile. AT&T is where you might have a problem. Because AT&T tends to block phones that are not their own, which is messed up, even though it's unlocked. But yeah, so I'm going to test the speaker out, but I want to get into here just to kind of get a feel for it, just so I can see. All right, it's all the way up. That doesn't seem too loud. So it sounds like it's fairly loud. Maybe I'll turn on a video here in just a second to see how it goes, because a lot of phones can be listed with this big speaker on the back, but that definitely doesn't mean that they're too loud. But we shall see. I'm gonna test it out in this video just to test that speaker out. But other than that, man, you have your sound and vibration, your system navigation, your display, your notifications. The same things. This just has a skin on it, which is, you know, a little different. But that's the skin that they offer. And this came at 92%, but I turned off the battery percentage earlier when I came in here, and I've been playing with it a little bit. So 10,000 milliamp hour battery. This should be pretty decent. Here's your storage right here, 256 gigs with 20 gigs. That used to say 17, I think it was, or 19. But I started doing the updates to all the devices, but still, it's still pretty good. System only uses 8.4 of that 256. So that's a lot of storage left in this device. Everything is here that you have for an Android device, the basics. Yeah, so let's set up the fingerprint reader here. Let's see here. We'll go pin, set the default that I use, and let's just see what this fingerprint reader can do. This screen right here is actually really dark, and compared to the dark mode, I'm like, this screen is like really dark. This is the way I would like the actual phone to appear. This screen is extra dark in comparison to what the other part of the phone looks like for dark mode. I'm surprised at that. Pretty nice. Let's test it out. Works pretty decent. Let's see. All right, so it vibrates if you don't have the right finger on there or it's not positioned properly. And then when it is opening, it goes ahead and it just makes a sound and get in. So you can use it to take photos, recent calls you can get to it. You can use these things for touch and hold in this fingerprint area. That's pretty cool. Answer calls. You can do a lot with the fingerprint reader. That's pretty nice. I wouldn't turn those things on because I don't want to accidentally do them. So it's the system update available right now. So before I check into that, let's see what the phone it came on. Android 13 February patch, August patch for 2022. So this is going to be a pretty chunky update right here, which is pretty nice. I like that these phones are coming on Android 13 and they're coming right out of the box with a system update. So let's go into YouTube here and let's play something.
Susan! Behind where you're whispering. Check this.
Another video. I'm pretty sure you can tell by the thumbnail.
that I went to the Chevy dealer yesterday and checked out some beautiful C8 Corvettes. Now, the C8 Corvette is a car that's always been in the line of view for wanting to own. And my dilemma is that I thought I couldn't fit in one, actually. But I did some scouring around the internet, and I talked to a few people that were, I guess, bigger than me. You know, these guys are... So this speaker is really loud and has a lot of tone coming out of the back. But over video, I'd have to hold it directly to the microphone for you to get some sense of what this is really like, because it is, in fact, a very loud speaker. I'm going to hold it up to the microphone real briefly, just for a second. 6 feet, 6 foot tall. So with me being 6'4", about 225 to 230, you know, I peak out. Yeah, screen is pretty nice in person too. And the speaker itself is very loud. It's not one of the loudest speakers I've heard on the phone because it's facing out the back. And so when you're holding it like this, that is where, you know, you actually get the extra little oomph from the speaker. That is how that comes about. Overall, it's a really decent speaker, and I think you'll probably like it. So these are all, again, this is the way it came. You've got scanners. You've got a lot of things right here on the actual front page here. And right now, there's really no bloatware. I see a child mode. You've got FM radio. And by the way, when you long press on here, you can change the theme. It's got different themes here. That's the current theme. This one right here, so we can switch to this one. Let me see. There we go. Wow, that is, woo! That is neon. Okay, there we go. It's got I was about to say, man, it has to have a different wallpaper on here. That is bright. It looks cool, though. Let's be honest, it looks cool. And this is what this one looks like. That looks pretty doggone good. Let's see the last theme here. This is probably going to be more of a stockish. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah. This is a little bit more legible. So now you can long press, you can actually go into wallpapers, widgets, or whatever you want to get into. But home screen, you can change it to the drawer style. So now you'll swipe up and get to everything, which is pretty cool. That's the way I'm going to leave this. I'm going to remove this clock, and I'll probably remove this if it lets me. Nope, stock Android can't remove it. But overall, man, that is it. A quick look at this device, man. We're going to look at the cameras real quick. Oops, go into cameras. Let's change this. I'll change it after the video, but let's get into the camera here. Camera, and look at the settings, and this is what you're dealing with. So it does have HDR. Let's get into settings here. Let's see what we got. So you've got just a few things in here, not too many. This is a fairly basic camera here. Not a lot going on. Yeah, not too much going on. Let's go over to video, because you have different modes I'll show you here in just a second where you can select. Video quality, it shoots up to 4K, so really nice. That's pretty good, 1080p and 4K. Now, no 60 frames per second, but it does have video capabilities at 4K. You got smart lens. This is where you can access to search for things. You've got a beauty mode, and you've got more here. You've got Bokeh Pro, Portrait, GIF, Panorama, and QR. Okay. So I'm going to snap a couple of pictures here, grab a couple of things that I normally take photos of while I'm doing these sample run-throughs for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and snap this. Now, it does have a macro mode, and I'll probably switch to that one for this one. So it goes to a different lens. Let's see here. Oh, wow, that is really close. Oh, that is beautiful. Wait until you see this photo. You can get, that's a quick shutter time too. You can get really close. Oh man, I wasn't expecting this to be this nice. That is beautiful, man. Wow. That is a good macro shot. Let's try another macro shot with this here. You switch to macro by hitting this right here, and it switches to the other camera lens, and you can get really close. And I'll probably put these up on the camera here, but wow, that is a very nice macro mode. Pretty surprised at how nice that is, man. I'll test video, and then you switch to night by switching to that, because it's got the night vision camera. Really cool, and you just get your regular. Really nice, man. Really nice. This is a nice setup here. Pretty nice. All these other things right here, just sensors on there probably. That's a night vision camera and your macro camera, and then you got your regular camera and LED over there. But it switches to this camera, I believe, when it switches to the macro shot. but then you got your night vision and everything there. So this is actually really, really nice, man. I'm pretty impressed so far with what I'm seeing here, but this is just a first look at this OUKITEL WP22. It's pretty nice. What do you guys think about it? First impressions down? I think it looks pretty good. It might be okay. I'll test the battery too at some point for you because I really want to see how the battery is because the tank is holding up phenomenal. It's your man Jay. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.